All right, class, we're back on our nouns and not nouns paper. Our next word is arm. Class, is arm a noun or not a noun? Tell me in 2, 1. All right. I really hope we said nouns. Every body part is a noun. Instead of having to go through the process all the time, if we just remember that similar things will be similar parts of speech, that should help us, because if thumb and finger, which are body parts, are nouns, then of course arm is going to be a noun as well. All right, this one actually, a lot of us kind of missed this. What are the sounds in arm? Good. R. Remember, we can't just have the letter R because that doesn't say R, it says R. All right, so we need 2 letters to make the R sound. There's only one phonogram that makes the R sound. And then So write arm, say the sounds while you write them. And go ahead and mark arm when you're finished. All right, class, what did you write to spell arm? Good, R. And good, And what's the thing we need to mark? Good, R, our 2-letter phonogram. All right, the next word is leg. Class, is leg a noun or not? Good, it's a noun just like our other body parts. Go ahead and listen carefully to the word leg, because I had some incorrect vowel sounds. Leg. What sound do we hear in the middle of leg? All right, good, it's eh. I saw some lags where we should have had legs on our quiz, so make sure you have the eh in the middle, not a different vowel sound. Write it and mark it if there's anything to mark. All right, class, did you have anything to mark in leg? We didn't. Class, what kind of syllable is leg? Good, it's a closed syllable. Remember, there's only 2 options for syllables, really, well, that we talk about. Silent final E's are their own syllables, right? We treat a silent final E word. That's separate, but the only 2 other kind of syllables are open and closed, right? And a closed syllable ends with what kind of a letter? Good, a consonant. And an open syllable ends with what kind of a letter? Good, a vowel. All right, so I'm never trying to trick you. There's really those 2 kinds of syllables that we'll talk about, right? And hopefully by now we all know our vowels and consonants. All right, let's see. Next, let's do the word along. All right, class, along is a 2-way word. How do we say along to spell it? Excellent. We say along. Along. Just like to spell around, we say around. To spell along, we say along. All right. So is along a person, place, thing, or idea? Nope, it's not. So we're going to put it in this column. What's the first syllable in along? Good, A. And the second syllable? Good, long, long. That last sound in long, O, A, we need 2 letters to make that sound. So go ahead and write along. Say the sounds while you write them. Don't forget your syllable break. All right, class, what was your first syllable in A long? Good, A. Class, what kind of syllable is that? Good, an open syllable. And let's see. All right, so this is how we spell A long. What do I need? And go ahead and mark it. Good, we underlined this because it's saying its name. And we underlined this because those two letters work together to make that sound. All right, I'm noticing that we let's look at the words in our not nouns column. All right, so these two words, A round and A long, or a round and a long, those are both two-way words in the same way. So if we remember that, that's going to help us for our test tomorrow. And then let's look at these three in the middle, between, beside, and behind. Look, all of their first syllables are the same, be, an open syllable. So if we remember that, that's going to help us too, because it's funny, I saw on some quizzes, sometimes we had this be for that first syllable, and then sometimes we used E-double-E. Now, we want to use the same thing for all three of these, so I hope that will help us remember them and that we're going to use an open syllable. All right, let's see. Our next word is, all right, we did chicken yesterday. Oh, can you just tell me how we say chicken to spell it? All right, I hope that second syllable was N. The first syllable, chick, sounds exactly the same, but the second syllable, we say N to spell it, but it sounds like in when we're talking. All right, so chick, chick-en is how we say chick, chicken to spell it. Let's just do chick though. The thing we need to remember for chick is which k we use at the end of chick. Class, which k is it? Good. K. Two-letter k used after a single vowel that says a, e, a, or a. Go ahead and write chick. Say the sounds while you write them. And mark it when you're finished. Now I'll write it so you can check your work. But class, which k do I use in chick? Good, k. Two-letter k used only after a single vowel that says a, e, a, or a. All right, we underline our ch, k, sh, and our two-letter k. All right, so to make chick-en, chicken, we just have to remember we say chick-en to spell it and add that last syllable, N. All right, the next word, class, is egg. In the word egg, we do something to our last letter. What do we do to our last letter in egg? All right, if you said we double it, nice job. That's what we do. We double that last letter. It's not our floss rule, right? Because it's not F, L, or S, but we're just trying to make our letter longer because they like main idea words to be at least 3 letters. So go ahead and write egg. Mark it if there's anything that you need to mark. All right, class, is there anything that we need to mark in egg? You're right, there's nothing we need to mark. Remember, when we have a doubled consonant at the end of a word, we don't mark it. We would, of course, mark it if it were in the middle of a word. But here, there's nothing to mark. So remember, we need two gs at the end of egg. All right, we're on our last word now. Oh gosh, I forgot to have us. I hope we knew that chick and egg were nouns. If we didn't before, we know it now because those are both things. Remember, all animals are things. And then I guess we could say all foods are things, right? Broccoli, that's a noun. Okay. All right, our last word is the word hatch. All right, before I forget, class, is hatch a person, place, thing, or idea? No, hatch is not a person, place, thing, or idea. That means it's not. We'll put it in our not nouns column. Class, you do know what part of what part of speech hatch is. These are parts of speech that we haven't learned about yet. All right, but hatch, we've learned about that part of speech. What part of speech is hatch, class? Oh gosh, I hope we said it's a verb. All right, so it's going to go in the not nouns column, but we know it is a verb. Which ch do we use in hatch, class? All right, on the quiz, a lot of us use ch, k, sh, which does make the ch sound, but we want to remember to use ch, 3-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says or a. This is what we use in hatch. So go ahead and write hatch. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, class, which ch do I use in hatch? Good, ch, 3-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says or a. All right, our last thing to do today is we're going to write a sentence. The sentence, let's see, our sentence uses the word head, which we reviewed yesterday. Let's go over head one more time. It's a noun. Which do we use in head, class? Good, we use a. All right, and head, of course, is a noun. I'll write it. Why don't you write it too, just so you had another practice before we write it in the sentence? All right, so this is head. All right, our sentence is, he put his arm behind his head. All right, that one was a little longer, so I can do that in 2 chunks. The first part is he put his arm. What's the first part? Good, he put his arm. You can pause the video while you're writing. The second part is behind his head. Behind his head. Should have flipped this over so we weren't looking. He put his arm behind his head. After you've finished writing it, make sure you check it. So pause the video until you've checked it. All right, class, if you're watching now, you should have written and checked your sentence. I wrote the sentence correctly because I want you to check it. If you are missing a period or a capital letter, or something is not spelled correctly, I need you to cross the sentence out and rewrite it. That includes just if you did not put the end mark on there. We're doing that in class now because lots of students are writing their sentences and saying they've checked it, and then they're starting with a lowercase letter or there's no period. All right, so if you're telling me you've checked it, and you obviously haven't, because it's not complete, I'm going to have you write the whole sentence again, just so we learn to be a little bit careful and understand that we can't just not check it and then stick the period on later. We're going to have to rewrite it. So I am asking that you have the virtue of integrity here, and that if you did not have an end mark after you started looking at my sentence, and if you didn't have a capital letter, or if you were missing a word, or if one of your words was spelled incorrectly, rewrite the sentence. Obviously, I can't make you do it because I'm not there. That's where us having the virtue of integrity comes in. All right, that's it for today, class. We've gone over all of the words, well, except for one that will be on our test tomorrow. So you have these to look at if you want a little bit more practice before the test tomorrow. All right, have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.